But don't forget, you're awesome and you're doing great, and if you listen to yourself and are very cautious and careful about the advice that you take, but you do take advice when you... Oh, my legs. Oh, sitting on the floor. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, this hurts. Oh. All right, this is not fun. Greetings everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophie and I will be holding this space for us to have this exchange over the internet, and I'm very happy you decided to stop by today on this channel. And today I decided that I wanted to talk about something that's, I think, something that everyone experiences at one point in their life, and it's thinking about what others think of us and give that thought or that perception too much power. So if that's something that you've ever experienced and you want to know how to deal with it and just maybe have this exchange about it with this friendly stranger that's myself over the internet, then keep watching. And if you enjoy this type of content, please give this video a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and consider subscribing because there's many more topics that I will cover in the future. So without further ado, let's just jump into the juicy stuff. So I really wanted to make this video today because I realize that there's a lot of suffering that comes from valuing people's opinions too highly and taking it to your heart, and being really sensitive to what people think about us. And it doesn't matter if it's very superficial, of if they like your hairstyle or if they like your choice of outfit. It can go really deep and can get really personal with life choices, especially now with the current climate of, I think, the boundaries of values are quite blurred at the moment, and I've been quite steady in my ways for some years now, and I thought this is a very timely video to make of how not to give a damn about what other people think of us, because at the end of the day, very few people's opinion will truly be for your own good, and it doesn't matter what other people think of you. So I hope I can give you some tips and some perspectives of how to get away or get out of this loop of thinking too much about what other people think of you, and just take your power back one day at a time and one situation at a time, where you are more confident to show up in your values, in your day-to-day lives, and just represent what you really believe in and who you really are. So now we got into the video. I thought I would start out with defining what I think happens when you give your power away like this. So I think when we think about what other people are thinking about us and giving that too much power, what can happen is that we stop listening to ourselves and our decision making gets skewed. So first of all, I think that's a very normal thing to do, and I think I could be wrong with this because I'm just a human, I'm not a researcher or anything, but I think it could come from our ancestry when we were hunter-gatherers, and our mere survival depended on the group accepting us or not. So you as a hunter-gatherer alone in a forest was near disaster, so obviously wanted to conform to the group's values and standards of living. But obviously that's not applicable anymore to modern day living. So what's ending up happening is that we choose a couple of people, certain groups of individuals that we think we know and we think we want to belong to, and we try to conform to that group's values and standards and opinions. So I think in the process it's really easy to lose ourselves. So one of the first things to do while trying to come out of this spiral and trying to come out of this mental space of giving away our power and living our lives based on other people's merits because we want to be accepted, one of the first things that you can do, or we can do, is to start turning inward and start questioning our motives and our motivations behind our actions. So I think a good starting point would be to ask ourselves, is this really what I want? Is it really, do I really like to hang out with these people? Do I really like going to parties every single weekend and get wasted? Or is it something I do because of peer pressure or from a place of fearing of being left alone? So these are good places to start, I think, to really discover what motivates you and what you like and what you don't like. So don't be afraid of looking inward, and don't be afraid of asking questions of yourself, because it's always fun to explore, and it's never really about the group's motives. It's always about your motivation, and you never really know anyone's perceptions and opinions and motives as well as you do yours. So I think it's a better place to start than looking for others' opinions on matters in our life. Thinking too much about what other people think of us is definitely not healthy, and to a degree it could help our lives to be better and to develop ourselves. But for that to happen, you have to be very cautious about whose opinion you value, because what I've found is that in this society people are very generous with unsolicited advice and opinion, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's applicable to your life. So just, I think, be cautious about whose opinions you value and whose advice you take. That's, I think, a good place to start, and that's a good mental exercise as well to sober yourself up from this limiting belief of you are only worthy if other people think you're worthy. What you have to also understand is that you never quite 100% know what exactly other people are thinking about you. So it's all in your head. It's never going to be the same as the reality. So, and that's another really interesting aspect of this topic, is that you have to understand that we are the creators of our own reality. So that means my version of my reality that I've built and I've created through my experiences, through my preferences, through my relationships is completely different to even my partner's, even Daniel's reality. Our realities differ, and I think our realities really influence our realities really influence the way we carry ourselves in our relationships and our opinions and our preferences. So it's this interconnected web of your internal reality and your opinions, and hence you will never quite fully know what other people think because you're not immersed in their reality, and it's physically and universally impossible for you to experience their version of reality because it's all in our head. So I think you have to take anything that comes in your mind with a grain of salt, because there's a lot that can cloud our judgment. So just make sure that you are as honest with yourself as you can, and just know that you are not your thoughts, and not everything that pops in your head is true. So if you come up with versions of what people might be thinking about you if you do X, Y, Z, I think it's safe to say that it's probably not true. I think this would not be a proper video about how not to give a damn about what other people think of you without a pep talk. And I just want you to know that you are doing really, really well, and it's only you who knows what's best for you. And make sure that you don't take unsolicited advice and don't take shit from anyone, and just make sure that you are tuning in to your inner guidance, what sits right for you, what feels good, what your gut feeling is telling you to do, what you feel is right for the situation at hand. So just be very cautious about how you make decisions, and try to become aware of your decision-making process. And if something's too automated or something's too unconscious, I think it's the same thing, then I think it's a good time to just pause and reflect and see why you are making the decisions you are making. So maybe try to question why you eat a certain way, why you have the same daily routines, why you don't look after yourself, or why you do look after yourself in the way you do. So small things that can just help you along the way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and hit that subscribe button because there's more to come on topics about self-development, slow life, and just a creative and a good life. So I really enjoy making these videos for you, and I hope you find value in it, and I hope you have a wonderful day and you stick to your guns and you stick to your guns and be yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs down because it's a blooper.